Welcome back for the mobile gaming fanatics. It's your boy MyTyme here. This is Top Drives, and I've scrapped my previous video that I was doing. It's all gone straight into the bin because we have a new graphic in the game. Yes, challenges, you can see it here. It looks completely different when you click on it. Okay, nothing happens yet, but it is a sign of good things to come. So I thought, let's come and show you that now. So before we go into the challenges, a couple of things. We do have the events up and running at the moment. We do have the Jaguar XJR9 prelims. I did awful in the qualifiers, absolutely terrible, not doing particularly good in the prelims either. I will show that, as well as the Super Saloons event. And we can also go into buy cars and see we have USA carbon fibers and German Saloon carbon fibers. Are they worth buying? Well, you can make that decision yourself. I always recommend you go to all cars, you go to the filter and you put in the requirements. So for example, the first one would be USA cars. We would go down and make sure that we don't have any price cars in there, and I believe the decade is 2000s. So we do that and you could see the cars you could get. So from this perspective, legendaries aren't particularly useful here, nothing I'm that excited about. I'd love to get the Mustang FR500 GT or the GTR concept. I'd also take the Dodge Viper, to be honest with you, SRT10, but the rest of them, some stage the Challenger, but it's not too essential now, so not too much in here I particularly want. And when we come down to ultra rares, the Acura RDX looks like a useful car, and you'll see why later on in one of the events. But apart from that, not really too much in here I'd be extremely excited about getting. However, if we swapped this slightly and we went to Germans, and we then went down to, I wanted to go miscellaneous and pick, not that, Saloon. And we will also get rid of prize cars just for the sake, I don't know if there are any, but just in case. Yeah, when we see the legendary cars here, I'm intrigued. I'm really intrigued. I have wanted both of these BMW M5s for such a long time, and they keep eluding me. Even if they're not as good as they used to be in the game, because there's a lot of other cars now which outperform them. Even if they're both low ground clearance, I still want them. And even more, probably even more than them, I want this Panamera Turbo. This car is surprisingly good because it has medium ground clearance, okay? I mean, if I were to come in and just give you an idea, okay? If I reset everything, we will pick medium ground clearance cars. Now, if we take out all the kind of, well, let me say, off-road style cars here, the Turbo is still the highest RQ one with medium ground clearance in the game. And on top of that, if we compare things like Nissan Juke, this is still 1800 weight. Yes, a little bit heavier, but it's got better stats, better top speed, better 0 to 60. It should outperform the Nissan Juke. We're going to get rid of the Evo because this is a price car case. We can't get that. Again, the hybrid, same kind of thing. We still prefer to get the Panamera. And as we start to scroll down, these cars, honourable mentions, the Golf great hatchback, but this still is going to be a particularly useful car. We then have to look down to things like the Cadillacs here, which are coupes and that. They're going to be kind of similar. H8 handling, good, better handling, similar 0 to 60, similar top speed. Not quite as sharp on the 0 to 60. And then we go down to cars, forget the Cadet because of it being off-road. We will come down to some of the epics, and that's when we start to look at things like the Evos. So definitely is a car I'd like to get, and it's actually a pack I've been extremely tempted to buy, but I've resisted the urge so far. Before you go any further, do bear in mind there is a free pack in the store. I've claimed mine. It was a free US, I think, premium pack. So make sure you get that before the daily event resets today. That will be the last time. It's about 10 hours from when I'm doing this video now. So just to show you again, you can come, click on events, and we've got just over 10 hours. So make sure you collect that pack. Hopefully someone gets something good from it. I didn't, but I like stuff like this. There was issues in the club events, and as a result, Hutch put out a compensation pack. Great. I think that should happen more often. Little things like that when there are issues with downtime, events, etc. Just little things out. Not going to break the game, and it makes people feel more appreciated. So really glad to see that happening. But let's rewind back and let's come to this challenges part, okay? The update is being rolled out. Now, you cannot actually see the challenges, etc. themselves yet because they will not be available until it is rolled out on all platforms later in the week. But for more information, and I will go over this with you now, you can come into the forums, and there is a 13.1 update released, okay? As we go through this, I will break it down with you and show the new changes. So people should be excited about this, okay? Before we go any further, people who have complained about there not being enough content, etc. in the game, this is a way for Hutch to address that, and they're trying to bring some new stuff in. So let's look at it with a positive attitude. So in this new update, they're changing the challenge system, okay? That's the main thing with it. So it's going to have a new challenge mode, which we have seen here. This challenges is going to be a new challenge mode. Now it shows you on the corner challenges you've got remaining, as well as your new challenge panel, okay? You can read through the majority of this in your own time, but essentially they have now introduced a system, as it tells you here, where they can run multiple challenges at the same time. So what would happen? You would click on the challenge button, for example, and it would bring you into a challenge screen. Now for here, the example that they're showing us is that there are 2 challenge categories, and within each category there will be different requirements and different events. Now you can do both of them simultaneously, and obviously the chances for each are separate to the challenge. So you go and click on the challenge you were going to do, and as an example here, it will show you the challenges up that are currently available. Here we've got Track King and the World Series. Gives you the time as well. If you read the thing here, it tells you how many challenges you've got left, or attempts. So attempts here are 8. Now the attempts work differently. They will explain those in a moment. But attempts work as they only get deducted when you complete or 3-star a challenge, and they refresh every day at 10 AM in the UK, okay? You currently cannot purchase more attempts, so do bear that in mind. So it says to you, you can click on your category. Let's see how the attempts work. Ready? They give you an example. There's 8 attempts in this one, so you can play that round 8 times in effect. So here we go. It refreshes at 10 AM, and if you can only have, say, 5 attempts, then it will be 5 attempts that get refreshed. Depending on the challenge, the number of attempts available will vary. So it says previously you would have a prize board. So prize boards have gone. Instead you will get stars, and when you 3-star challenge, you advance to the next round. That would then be when you get your reward. If you only manage to 1-star or 2-star a challenge, you keep your attempts, you can try again. So they say you can keep experimenting, keep trying to find your way through. You only lose that attempt when you 3-star it, and that's when you can get the prize, okay? So you're not going to be farming it, but to move forward, you're not going to get penalised if you try stuff and it doesn't work out, okay? So they say let's come to the challenge view screen where the details are. So let's say you've got through round 1. You can scroll through and see all the requirements for the round. So they're showing you here on round 2. What do we need? Keys, okay? Keys will be introduced. Now it's going to be a new mechanic. What we can also see from the screen before we go further is it shows us a new layout showing you the kind of cars that you must have. So here, for example, you must have one Hummer, which is 1992. Obviously it's going to be a USA car because they're from there. It's going to have off-road because it's a Hummer, but you get the drift. You have to have one of these cars in it. You can also have special packs on offer, and it looks like here you will have special prizes. Now this doesn't mean that this Peugeot is going to be a prize that is up for grabs. These are just screenshots as examples, but you get the idea of where they are going. Now, as it says, with this new look, new features, new criteria, it's going to be different from before. So you can scroll through your challenges to see what the requirements are going to be in the ones coming up as well. So you can prepare, for example, for round 3, round 4, while you are still doing round 2. So if you know there's a specific car that you've got in your garage you haven't worked on, you're going to need it in round 9 or 10, then you can start to work on it now. So that can help alleviate the time that you're going to need to complete the event, if that makes sense, because you can start to prepare in the future. So it's good that you can at least see what's going to happen. So say you scroll through the rounds, and then you can determine the requirements necessary to partake in one. Now it shows you the total number of attempts, range compared remaining, and finally a key requirement, or it looks like a badge. Okay, now we will be able to collect these. They say to you that they are going to be a new way to gain entries into challenges. Now, what I'm not 100% sure, I think that there are going to be challenges which are just open to everyone, and some challenges which are going to need keys to progress or to unlock. So as it comes down, it says example of a key. For instance, the very first challenge in the category consisting of 2 challenges might not require any keys. Instead, there could be 3 full challenges that award keys for progression. So as we can see here, round 1, round 2 have been done. Now it says keys act as rewards in this challenge. So you can earn keys by completing the rounds in the first challenge, and you're able to use them to activate rounds in the second challenge. This new system is extremely flexible, so it allows them to experiment with other designs, and also keys can be consumed or used multiple times. Okay, so it looks like keys can be consumed on use or used multiple times. So it looks like if you have the keys, you can hold on to them, so you can use them to unlock a certain challenge now and then another challenge in the future. That's what that kind of sounds like. Not sure if that's how it's meant to sound, but let's see. So new mechanics in here. Now it says in addition to the new challenge suite, they're looking at new flexible system criteria, which is added here. So Robin has said the new system criteria allows greater flexibility in designing requirements. We want to bring the dual criteria over from events to challenges. Instead, we went further, developing a new system. It allows them to switch on the fly rather than having everything encoded. This is one example. Rather than having 3 Pontiac and 2 Subaru, we can have 5 requirement for cars from the pool of all Pontiacs and Subarus. It allows designs to utilize smaller groups of cars in combination to make them viable. In future system will come to events and packs. Okay, so it's quite important what we see down the bottom here. They are going to make it more specific for cars for events, so they're going to be able to, where cars at the moment for example are maybe left in your shelves, they can specifically pick out cars now and they will be, for example, required for challenges, etc. So they're going to be able to make people utilize their garage more, which means you may moving forward have to start keeping a variety of cars rather than just the current key cars. With that, the fact that they'll be able to add it into events in the future and into packs again is going to see a lot of specialization, or people having to maybe build diverse garages in the future. Obviously not straight away, but certainly in the future. It says please note the above example is a test build, so the criteria in the challenge may not be as extensive, and obviously it may change. They also tell us that there are going to be some car corrections. There is a usual spreadsheet containing all the changes, which you can click on here, as well as some issues with other parts of the game, which I won't go over. Now if you want to do the car corrections, you can click on the car corrections tab. It brings up a spreadsheet, and then it will come and show you all the changes which have happened. Now I'm not going to go through all these cars. To be fair, there isn't a huge number of them. I don't know if they're all going to be improvements or not, but we can see an RQ change here for the Lotus Elan's gone up 1. We can see an RQ change here for the Lancia Fulvia. It's gone down 9, but then again all the stats have changed as well. Yeah, you can have a look at this yourself and go through it. I'm not going to focus on that today. I wanted to bring the new patch out as quickly as I could, and also these can all go away. Thank you. Come back. I hate doing this because it's always so difficult for me to get back into the game. There we go. And to show you the challenge which is coming in. So more on that when it's actually released. I said you can go back, read it yourself. It's going to be a new concept. It's going to be extremely good to play on top of the single player. So for everyone who's been doing the campaign and finished the Yellowbird, we are now going to have challenges, and these can be continuously running with people obviously able to open new challenges as they progress through the game. So really excited about that, really glad to see something new coming in and to give people some more variety outside of the player versus player content. But let's come in quickly and have a look at the Jaguar XJR9 prelims as well. Now we need USA cars ×5 and legendaries ×0, basically. Well, no legendaries. Now prize wise, I'd love to get rank 1 to 3 because I would like to get the Tamora. However, I have absolutely no chance of getting that. Of all these cars being 2001 again, I think we can safely say 2001 in the finals is going to be a requirement, but it could, okay, it could say, for example, 3 times 2001 cars and 5 times 2001 to 2005 cars, for example. So requiring people to use the majority of their hand as 2001, but obviously opening up to a couple of cars around that kind of time period as well. Potential, not saying that is what's going to happen, but that is what could happen. If we just assume it's 2001s, that puts me still in a lot of trouble. So if I come in, I'll show you the team I've decided to run with. It's not particularly good. As you can see here, we do have a new look to the game in the update, so you can pick your requirements. Does this look better? I don't know, but let's just click it anyway. Move forward. There is also one little thing we're going to come to at the end, but hold on, stay to the end. You will see. And we are going for a team like this. We're going for one off-road car, or kind of all-surface car. I was using the M80 before, but it got beat by pretty much everything. I could bring in the Bronco concept. I'm not sure if it's better or not, to be honest with you, because the Nitro beats it on anything which isn't dirt. And I've got one kind of car for the wet surfaces when they come up. Now, my problem is I do not have a maxed out Corvette to begin with, which doesn't help me in the drags. So for example, here I run these two cars on these tracks, and then I'm in a lot of trouble. Okay, so this is just what happens in this event for me. So you see this here, it's going to be a defeat. It doesn't matter how close I get to it. If it wasn't the dirt one, then yes, the Nitro would win there, but obviously because it is dirt and it is the thing, we lose. Now I'm not actually in rank 5, so I've been put into a new group, huh? Oh, they must have redone the groups again. Hold up, don't put anyone else in. Cut it. Cap this group. Cap it now. 10 people. Get me the carbon fiber. Well, I can't show you then. Yeah, I was gonna say I shouldn't really be up against that kind of stronger team. We'll play one more just to show you again. Unfortunately, it's the same track set, so I lose there. I'm going to get a tie here, and unfortunately I do lose here. The question is, can I get enough points from the fast circuit and the city streets? And I'm hoping I can to win this by about 120 to 100. That is my guess here. That's what we should be at. Okay, 128 to 100. There we go. So that person, fortunately, was someone who I could beat. But yeah, I was floating around 50 to 60. If ever I got into the top 50 or just in there, I was getting smashed out. So for me, to be honest with you, the opportunity of getting a ceramic pack was pretty low. However, now we might get one, so great, we'll take that. And if we look very quickly at the Deutschland Super Saloons, again, I've only just got into this event really. It is using ceramic packs so as rewards, so nothing I would spend too heavily on. However, my actual cars that I have to use could be good. If I maxed them out, I'd be doing extremely good in this event. I decided to use something like this. Now could drop out the M760 here for the Audi S4 because it's got better handling. But my last car, this team, if this was all maxed out, I think I would be top 10, and I would be pushing for the top 3, I'd say. Now it looks like we've got another reset of the brackets. It looks that with the update, I think if you update, you go into a new bracket. Okay, bear with me here, it makes sense because I was in a different bracket playing earlier on. I've done the update since to show you guys, and as soon as you update, you get put into a new bracket. So if you want to stay in your current bracket, I would suggest delaying your update until you're forced to do so, or at least until you have finished your rewards. Okay, so get to night's rewards, then do the updates. It wasn't forced upon me, I chose to go and update the game. So looks like I've now been put in a new bracket, so I can't show you. Okay, I'm just trying to say I can't show you anything now. I can't show you anything particularly useful at the moment, so I do apologize for that. You could have seen the track sets, but the idea is we'll do one more just to show you the track sets again. The idea is it's going to be twisty, it's going to be fast. There's no rain or anything needed. You just want your best kind of handling saloon cars, and not many of them obviously are going to be amazing handling cars, but if you do have the sports back maxed out, etc., bring that in. your option of a Saloon, which isn't a German car. I think a lot of people will be bringing in the Japanese ones because they have decent handling. I said those Evos can have 97, 98 handling. That would be my recommendation if you have one of them. And yeah, so that's where we are. Now, the final thing we come to in a slightly longer video, I do apologise, but something else also in this patch is a new tag, okay, and it is coming. You can click in filters, you can go down, you can click on collections and tags, and at the bottom we do see Year of the Ox. Now, I am going to get rid of in collection tags again. I'm going to get rid of prize cars. Yes, they'll be useful in an event if to get a car, but just to show the kind of cars which you'll be able to get from packs, which are Year of the Ox, and go to all cars. You can see the Porsche 962C up here. So again, this car is going to be a car well sought after. Also, it's got the roof, so potentially useful in the finals. If we get Year of the Ox packs which come out, people could potentially pull that. The Lamborghini's half decent, the McLaren F1's okay. As we scroll along, yes, the Opel Kadett be really useful to get. And we come into the Banana itself, the Megane great, the Evo great. As we now scroll down, there's not really maybe too many epics that I'm extremely key to get, but I've got quite a few. So hopefully, if a Year of the Ox challenge comes out or something similar, I should have enough cars to do fairly well. And then from ultra rare perspective, we've got the Skyline still. I've got the Quattroporte maxed out. After the bit of dirt, I've got an Aspen there. I've got the Phaeton maxed out, and then we've obviously got some of the super rares, etc. So Year of the Ox is in the game now. Expect something for that to be coming out, probably I'd say coinciding with the challenges when they come. So really big week incoming for Hutch. Really excited, super looking forward to it. Let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are on the challenges, on the revamp, and what you think they're going to be doing when it first launches. As ever, I've been MyTyme. Thank you for watching, everyone. Good luck in the prelims, and I'll see you all soon.